Imagine waking up and the money in your bank account is suddenly worth less than the paper it is printed on. Not over years, over hours. People literally burned cash to heat their homes because firewood cost more than the bills themselves. This actually happened multiple times. Money is just a story we all agree to believe. Today, we are talking about what happens when that story collapses. Economists define hyperinflation as prices rising more than 50% in a single month. If your morning coffee costs $3 today, in 1 month, it could cost $4.50. The month after that, almost $7, and it keeps accelerating. How does it start? Almost always the same way. A government needs money it does not have. Instead of raising taxes or borrowing, it simply prints more. Here is the core idea. Money has value because we collectively trust it. Print too much, too fast, and that trust starts to crack. Let us go to Germany, 1923. After losing World War I, Germany owed massive war reparations, payments it could not afford. So the government printed more marks. At first, nothing dramatic happened. Then everything happened at once. In January 1923, a loaf of bread cost around 250 marks. By November that same year, it cost 200 billion marks. Workers were paid twice a day because by the afternoon, their morning wages had lost half their value. People used wheelbarrows, not to carry groceries, but to carry the cash needed to pay for groceries. Some families burned banknotes for heat because burning the money was cheaper than buying firewood with it. Fast forward to the 2000s, Zimbabwe. The government printed money to cover massive spending, and the results were almost unbelievable. At its peak, Zimbabwe printed a $100 trillion banknote. 100 trillion. And it was barely enough to buy a loaf of bread. Prices were doubling every 24 hours. People stopped using banks completely. By the time you withdrew your money, it had already lost half its value. Eventually, Zimbabwe abandoned its own currency entirely and started using US dollars instead. A country giving up on its own money. That is how badly trust can collapse. This is not just ancient history. In Venezuela, inflation got so extreme that store owners stopped counting cash. They started weighing it. Literally putting stacks of bills on a scale because counting individual bills took too long and lost value while you counted. Millions of people left the country, not because of war, because their savings, their salaries, their entire financial lives became meaningless almost overnight. Here is what is fascinating. These events happened in completely different countries, decades apart on different continents, but the pattern is always the same. A government spends more than it has. It prints money to cover the gap. People notice prices rising and rush to spend money before it loses more value, which makes prices rise even faster. The cycle accelerates until the currency is essentially worthless paper. Here is the golden rule. Money only works because we collectively believe in it. Hyperinflation is what happens when that belief breaks all at once. So why does this matter to you, sitting wherever you are right now? Because every modern currency, the dollar, the euro, the pound, is built on the exact same foundation: trust. Most of the time, that trust holds, but history shows us it does not always hold. Understanding how money actually works is not just history. It is the first step to understanding why people search for alternatives: gold, foreign currencies, and yes, even things like Bitcoin. The story of money is still being written, and understanding it is the first step to understanding the world around you.